And welcome in for a What It's Worth quick take episode. I'm your host, Calvin Silvers. I'm here with Tyrone and Erik, and we are going to talk the Eastern NBA playoffs and what we've seen so far. They're going on all week, but we're just going to kind of talk about what's happened up to this point. But before we get into all that, how's everyone's weekend? How did everyone enjoy their weekend? I know Erik had quite the time this weekend, and we'll get to that in a second. But Tyrone, how was your weekend? What'd you do?
There's another day of coaching basketball. I went to St. Louis, so I drove there and back. Went to St. Louis the week before too, so I've been in that car crazy. I've driven so much these past 3 weeks. It's been ridiculous. But these next 2 weeks, I don't have to drive that much, so that's about it. Coaching, yelling at people, told them to make shots and do all this. These games. That's about it.
Are you like downtown St. Louis at all? Because that area is beautiful. Or are you just like
no? We were in Chesterfield. They built a nice little. Okay. It's like a suburb. They built a nice little, like a new gym. I think it's 2 years old. Last week I bought some shoes there that I was telling you about at the outlet mall. It's a cool little area. I mean, I lived there. I mean, I was like, these are nice houses.
Yeah. No, I went up there for not that specific, or at least I don't think it was that specific area, but I went up there for work a couple years ago and covered an event up there. Kind of near downtown, but not necessarily. But it was nice. So I've heard mixed reviews about St. Louis from people, but the times I've been there, have been a good time and been nice people there. Erik, how was your weekend? I don't know how much in depth you want to go, but
yeah,
you had a pretty good one.
I had a very fun weekend.
What I hear,
it was great. I had an awesome weekend. I hit one of the best parlays that I've ever had in my life.
You want to share how that went, or are you keeping those that amount to yourself?
No, I mean I cooked up a 6-leg.
It's pretty impressive.
I cooked up a 6-leg alternate strikeout parlay, plus 44,000 odds. Just a nice little lotto, 5 to win like 2,500.
There you go.
None
100 on it.
Some easy. I should have put like 10 grand on it, to be honest.
So when this guy's talking bets, y'all need to listen. He's not just yapping.
Premium picks. You got to pay $5.
The proof is in the pudding. I mean, I'm not. I don't get on here and bull crap. But let's save the profanity so we don't get demonetized.
Hey, Erik, would you ever start a Discord, a betting Discord?
I mean, literally, I posted that parlay on my private story yesterday, and like 7 people swiped up, be like, you got to post these before. So then you guys probably saw it, but I made just a betting private story and posted all of them today.
That's what. Hey.
So I mean, I think I could. Like, I would, but it's like I wouldn't make people pay for it. That's stupid.
Hey, you real man.
A man of the people. A man of the people. Hey, we'll just get you your own podcast. We'll let you, post under the HomePod Advantage.
Yeah.
There you go. It'll be your own betting content. Build a Discord through that way. We got stuff in the works, people. But you gotta start listening.
Yeah, I hit that on Sunday, Saturday. I mean, it was basic. We had a couple people come up, and then Friday I got fake married. It was awesome.
There you go. Wow. I'm not sure. Was that your idea? Her idea?
No, it was like her friend group has done it before, so like they were just like, oh, let's do that. I was like, all right. It was fun though. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I wish you guys could come up. I know you're in St. Louis and you're probably working too, Calvin, but
yeah. Well, hey, next time you get fake married, let me know. I'll be expecting.
Okay, I got you.
I'll be expecting an invitation in the mail. All right. So, as mentioned, this is a quick take episode. So that means, in case it's been a while, so I'll remind everyone how we do this. 15 minutes on the clock. We have the east side of the playoffs to talk about. There is a West episode that we put out as well. Maybe, you listen to that first, so that's why you're here or whatever. But there is another episode out where we talk about the Western side. So if this is your first video to watch, go ahead and click that one next. But 15 minutes on the clock. Are you guys ready?
Just born ready.
All right, here we go. And
TTG.
if the timer ends, we got to end it. If we end it before, you know what? We beat the clock, pat ourselves on the back, and here we go. All right, first game we're going to talk about is Orlando and Cleveland. As we are recording this, these games just finished up, so game 2, that is, so kind of fresh in our minds. So we'll kind of quickly talk game 1 and game 2 as well, but we're starting with Orlando and Cleveland. Game 1, Orlando lost 83-97. And then in game 2, Orlando once again lost, this time by a score of 96-86. So Cleveland is up 2-0 in the series. We'll just start with this question first, and we'll go to you, Tyrone. Did you expect the Cavs to be up 2-0? Now, obviously, knowing what you know now, but before that, did you expect the Cavs to jump out to a 2-0 lead?
Honestly, I did not. I thought that the Magic would have a little bit more of a bigger jump into the playoffs, but I was probably a little bit too giddy on them actually doing stuff because usually last year the Cavs got pummeled their first go around, so the Magic are just getting there. They're just getting their ritual spankings of the teams who just hop in the playoffs get.
Yeah.
Yep, Erik.
I mean, it doesn't like surprise me, but I mean, I maybe would could have expected them to maybe steal game 1. But they no, it doesn't super surprise me. I mean, the Cavs, like Ty said, they got their spanking last year, so they kind of are probably well rounded, and the Magic are young, so it doesn't super surprise me. But I was maybe expecting a 1-1 after 2 games.
Yeah, and I think I'd agree with you there in the fact that no, it's not really that surprising. Donovan Mitchell, he's shown out. He scored 30 that first game. And you're just hoping he taps into that, I think it was the 18-19 season, 2021 season, maybe, where he was
that
averaging
bubble. That bubble was
when he was
crazy.
averaging the 36, 32 in the playoffs. If you're a Cavs fan, you're hoping he keeps that up. He's looked good the first 2 games. And I think too, Ty, in a sense, also that I was kind of excited to see the Magic maybe do something, and so I think I was a little high on them too. The shooting's not there. They kind of clean it up towards the end of the games, then both game 1 and game 2. Of course, game 2, game 1, it's kind of more garbage minutes. You're able to kind of build back a little bit. The other team relaxes. Doesn't take anything away, but they shot 32% that first game, did not shoot very well the second game. I think it's nerves. I think it is that inexperience, and we're starting to see that. Donovan Mitchell's feeling himself. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen in the paint. That's a duo that the Magic just can't figure out. And then tonight in game 2, Suggs gets hurt. Does not help the Magic's case at all.
No, not one bit. And honestly, they just can't score enough. I mean, I understand that this is the NBA playoffs and defense tightens up, but there's no reason you guys shouldn't be cracking 90 points in an NBA basketball game. That's crazy. Like, yeah, I mean, Paolo can't do it all, but it's all good. At least you have nothing to worry about. I mean, you made the playoffs. Nobody even expected them to make the playoffs this year. So, Magic, you maybe try to steal one game, then after that, just hit the off season and reset it, or not reset it, just keep going because nobody expects you to do anything.
Yeah, like I said, I think beforehand, I thought the Magic could do it. I was actually unsure of how this series was going to go, but I think we are really starting to see that inexperience and youth of the Magic start to play through, and they just don't have enough veteran stars to carry the weight, with the inexperience starts to show. So, Joe Ingles is not, he's not going to do anything for you.
He's not moving the needle.
He's not going to take over a game. And so they're missing something like that. And so when it is kind of a slow start, you don't have someone to, who has that experience to pull you up. So it's not looking good for the Magic, especially after the injury of Suggs. He was listed as questionable to return, though, so that's a good sign in the case it might not be as bad as they thought or it looked. But obviously, he's not going to be 100% anytime soon. Anything else that you guys want to talk about with Orlando and Cleveland? We are at 2 minutes. I'm pulling it back up and 35 seconds. Or 10 minutes and 35 seconds.
Get well, Suggs. That's all I got. Get well, man. Minnesota legend.
For real. Erik, anything else you want to say about this series?
Yeah. I mean, you already touched on it. I was going to say they just shot terribly from the field and the 3 more specifically. I saw this tweet that they missed 7 straight non-contested threes. Throughout some certain time period of the game, 7 straight. They missed open seven straight open threes. That's just, you can't win a basketball
game. You lose a game. Yeah.
Yep.
Even if you make 3 out of 7 of those, I mean it's 10 points almost. That's a huge swing. They lost by that today, so I mean.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying. I think that's that inexperience and just playoff basketball.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Big time plays.
Yeah, and Cavs really get out there on defense to really
Mhm.
close out hard and whatnot. So, and I'm pretty sure the Magic's coach even talked about that after game one. So, yeah, their offense just has to figure it out. All right, we are at 9 minutes and 26 seconds remaining. Let's jump to Philly and New York. In the first game, New York won 111 to 104, and then game two that just wrapped up that we watched. Again, New York taking this one 104 to 101, which means they lead the series 2-0. And it came down to the wire. Before I get your guys' opinion, I will just say, Joel Embiid was listed as questionable for this game. And for being listed as questionable, he looked pretty efficient, especially that first half. In the case of how bad he looked in that second half. He was efficient in that case. Of course, he wasn't as efficient as he would have been at 100%, 90%, but he wasn't there. He was probably at a 60, 70. We started to see that really take effect in the second half. And so he did what he could, but you're not going to it's hard to beat a team like the Knicks at home with all that energy, that core really believe in themselves when your star player, even with Maxey going off, with your star player only at 70%, 60% in a playoff setting on the road, it's just not going to get done. It almost did, but it's just not going to. Erik, what are your thoughts about this series, whether it's game one, game two, or the entire series as a whole so far?
Before the series, me and Ty kind of were on the same page that they officially listed, like right whenever the 76ers got, matched up against the Knicks, they put the Knicks at series money line at plus odds, and even all of Twitter like pretty much bumped that line down. So I mean, I think they were kind of putting too much on Joel because I mean the 76ers bench unit is horrendous at playing basketball. So
Oh, yeah.
without Joel Embiid or Maxey on the floor, I mean they're not a playoff team. So,
Yeah.
but the
And
Knicks have been, they've been well rounded. They've handled
yeah,
the business.
they have it. Tyrone, I'll get to you in a second, but Erik, you're right. In that first game, um, when Joel initially went out and then he came back, when he came back, they would score 32 points on their next 15 trips. So they turned a 14-point deficit into a 6-point lead. That just shows you how important and how great they are when Embiid is playing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if they want any chance to win this series, they have to have Embiid out there. And like I said, he was efficient for being 60%, but is a 60% Embiid and Maxey went off tonight. Is he going to do that every night? I think he can. Is he? I don't know. Now they do go home, and I think they'll get a game there. And before I keep talking, I'll just go to Tyrone, but I think they get a game there. But Tyrone, what do you think of this series or game one or game two so far or all of it?
It's easily the best series that we have so far in these playoffs. It's only been 2 games. I think that this series has a potential, regardless of how many games it goes. I know every single game is going to be competitive, and like the one today. I think the one we had today, game two, was probably the best NBA game I've watched in the past month or two, maybe the whole season. Like a
Great
playoff
one.
game means something. Home team wins, crazy shot. But I also think there's 3 people that are really, really, probably 4 people who are really, really clapping their hands and smiling that the 76ers lost. One, Ben Simmons. He's like, I thought it was me. I thought this was my fault. And now look at you guys down towards the Knicks. Number 2, Jay Wright. He has 3 Villanova dudes on the Knicks. Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, and Brunson. They're all cooking. They're winning games, so he's happy. Thirdly, we have Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is like, man, you guys had a 5-point lead with a minute left in the game, and you lost. So it wasn't my fault. So those are, and Stephen A. Smith. Those are 4 people who are all like, man, I love New York basketball right now, and I'm so happy they're beating up on the weak and broke 76ers. But shout out to Max, he was hooping.
Yeah, no, he was. And you brought up a good point. Like, everyone for the Knicks is stepping up. Everyone's doing their role plus a little bit. Like, not in the fact that it's hurting the team, but in a good way, that they're going a little bit above and beyond.
Their role players are playing like with blind, like the blind confidence that you need your role players to do. You don't want them to be scared and timid. Like Josh Hart is shooting pull-up threes in transition and making them. Like that's the type of stuff that wins you games.
Yep. No, exactly. Because if you're the 76ers, obviously you're hanging with this team, even with a hurt Embiid. You have really good talent. You're a really good team for a reason. But if you can't stop, you can maybe stop Brunson a little bit from what he and the damage he could do. but you're allowing the role players now to gain that confidence and go off. So if you want any chance to win this series, especially if Embiid hurt, you have to limit those role players. Erik, you agree that the role players for the Knicks are playing a huge part right now?
Yeah, I mean, like Ty said, game 2, DiVincenzo hit 4 threes. Josh Hart hit 4 threes. He grabbed 15. Like for a shooting guard, he gets double digit rebounds a lot of games. So I mean that's huge. And I mean Hartenstein, solid
He's an
basketball player.
animal.
Yeah.
3 block. He had 4 blocks at the game-winning block. He
Yeah,
had so many
game-winning
touch
block.
floaters. Probably had a double-double, too. I'm pretty sure he probably had 10 rebounds and 10 points.
But yeah.
Right, yeah.
I mean they're good. Jalen Brunson's like raw too. So I mean,
Did you guys know
they
Jalen
got a
Brunson
good
has
squad.
never scored 30 points on the Knicks? Not on the
He's
76ers yet.
Really?
Wait, what?
Yep.
I don't know that.
What'd you say?
Jalen Brunson has never scored 30 points while he's been – my bad, I said on the Knicks. Jalen Brunson has never scored 30 points while he is a Knick against the 76ers.
Oh, okay.
His
Interesting.
line was 30 and a half today, so.
Yeah.
And he's been shooting the ball terribly. I think they're putting Kelly Oubre on him instead of Kyle Lowry or Maxey, making them big, long dudes, make him try to score over him.
And so far, man, not really. I mean, but
Yeah,
I guess
21 points tonight. That's all right. But
yeah, you'll take that, especially when your role players are stepping up. All right, we got 3 minutes and 5 seconds, roughly. Now we got 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Yeah, I know. It flies by. We got Milwaukee and Indiana to talk about. Luckily, these last 2 games were kind of blowouts, so we'll make this quick. I'll try to keep my points quick. I know I like to ramble on. Milwaukee won 109 to 94. No Giannis, but Dame dropped 35. Now, it was all in the first half, so, let's celebrate that for sure. That's great. That's ridiculous, but also kind of concerning he didn't score, but he didn't really need to.
That's Dante Porter action to me.
But
That's insane.
maybe there might be some shading there.
No, but let me not put that on Dave.
No, but I'm just saying, kind of concerning there, but he didn't really need to score much more. But I'm bringing this up, and I'm trying to make this quick. Make a long story short, he had to be the main man. It was like he was back in Portland. He probably felt more comfortable being like that, and it just worked out. As you could tell, they held, and especially the defense, held the Pacers to the fewest points and the shooting percentage that they've had all season. Defense stepped up. Dame stepped up. It was like he was back in Portland. We got a minute 58. Tyrone, what do you think of this game?
This classic Damian Lillard, one of the most clutch players ever. It's Damian Lillard. Dame time. It's playoffs.
Yep.
Dame is going to perform, like you said. He's been in this situation plenty of times, so I'm not worried about him or the Bucks.
Erik?
Yeah, I mean, same with Ty said. I mean, you guys both said it. He's not. This isn't a new situation for him to not have another star player to rely on. And he has some at the back of the head. He's like, if I win, I will have him back. But in Portland, he's like, there's no hope. But you were riding high on the Pacers there, Calvin, before this series started.
I know. I still am.
I mean, it is only one game, but
it's only one game, and all home teams have won so far.
Yeah, it's not a
We're
series
recording this before
until
the Nuggets and
home team
Lakers.
loses.
So, yep. All right, we got a minute 5. Here we go. Last game. Boston won 114 against Miami, who got 94. Celtics led by 34, never trailed. They had 22 made threes, tied a record. Tatum came second Celtics player for triple-double in a postseason opener, 23, 10, and 10. No Jimmy Butler rest of the round. Chalk it up. Celtics are going to win this series. Tatum is looking good so far. We got 41 seconds. Tyrone, what do you think of Celtics Miami?
Hey, all the people that were Tyler Hero truthers like 3 or 4 years ago telling me that he's equivalent, has the same talent as Devin Booker, you look crazy.
Oh, that's
I've been
crazy.
that was crazy. I remember
It's crazy
me
now.
and
It
Kyle
is
were
crazy now.
arguing about that, and he was like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, man, he's not like that. He's a decent player, but as we can see, he is what he is.
All right, here we go. 19 seconds. Erik, what do you think of this?
Yeah,
Boston, Miami.
It's pretty. That's the least surprising thing that's happened all playoffs. That if this sweeps, I mean, as it should now, it's not going to be surprising. So
It's probably plus 20 or minus 20,000.
Wow. And that 2-1, and that is time. There we go. Right on the dot. I know we had a rush there a little bit, but like I said, we know Tatum's good, and it was a blowout, and with no Jimmy Butler, yeah.
Oh, Jason Tatum I think he's tied or I think he's second, or he broke the record for most triple doubles in the playoffs for a Celtics player.
There you go. So we'll see if he can carry that on when the competition might get a little more tough. All right, that was Quick Take, episode number 6. We talked the East side of the playoffs so far. Excuse me. Like I said, we have a West episode out, so if you haven't already, go check that out. And if you already did, if you're coming from that video, we appreciate that. Hopefully you gave both videos a comment, a like, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, go ahead, like the page. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. Just type in For What It's Worth or at FWIW Sports Pod. Tyrone, Erik, anything you want to say before I wrap this up?
Shout out. I'm gonna give a huge shout out to myself because sometimes I be forgetting I'm that dude.
No, you should. You should give a shout out to yourself, man. You got to remember, hey, you're always there for yourself. At the end of the day. So
That's it.
I respect it. Erik, anything you want to say before I end this?
I think I'll also shout out to myself for hitting a plus 44,000 strikeout parlay yesterday. I mean, you just gotta. If you don't believe in yourself, you are not going to believe in somebody believing in you. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Let's go.
All right. That was For What It's Worth, Quick Take, episode number 6. And until next time, have a good one. Peace out.